Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. Today, I'm joined by Michael Appollo from it's London, is it, Michael?
London.
London, yeah. You still living in London, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you been keeping? Are you all right?
I'm fine. Everything's good, thank you.
Your family all right?
They're fine. How are yours?
Sound, mate. Sound. Are you still doing a bit of training?
Yeah, of course. Been doing what I can. Been running. Been lifting weights at home.
Proper little grafter, aren't you?
Of course.
Let me just turn this off, otherwise we're not going to get no peace.
Sure.
Dillian White against Povetkin rematch. Povetkin 42 this summer. White's 32. They're building it up as this super event on the Rock of Gibraltar. What do you think? What do you think about it all? What do you think about all that, Michael?
Well, yeah, I've seen some of it. I saw the photo where, as you said, they're trying to build it up as this massive event. This is Ali Foreman. This is Ali Fraser won. It's an okay fight, but don't there's so much hype in boxing. They exaggerate things. They
Yeah.
try to tell you. What's an example? It's like I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. There's this famous £1 fish video. It's like I think it was like a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just like imagine, say you're walking along, if someone's trying to sell you £1 fish, say you try to charge me, try to tell me, oh, this is caviar, this is the best thing ever. I'm going to charge you £1,000. I said, well, no, it's a £1 fish. That's what I'm trying to say about what it's a decent fight, but don't try and tell us that live and exclusive, this is going to get more views than the World Cup football final. It's an okay fight. I was happy for Povetkin to win the first fight, but yeah, I just want to see the fight. I don't care that it's on a rock in Gibraltar or wherever it is.
It's a bit like when people like Rob Tebbett and Coogan Cassis were saying that what Eddie Earn's doing, putting shows on in his back garden, were groundbreaking. So I was getting people to ask them, well, why is it groundbreaking on Twitter? And they were like, well, it's in his garden and they're putting fireworks up. Well, what's that got to do with matchmaking and fights that were on?
No, but look, yeah, sorry to interrupt, but see, this is the problem. These people control the narrative. But I'm like, look, a fight's a fight. I don't care where it is. Yeah. Just put the quality fights on. When you look back at, I saw one of your videos, you was talking about Ali Fraser, but we had Ali Fraser 50 years ago. If you look at every other sport, they progress. Boxing's the only sport where we're going backwards. Yeah. We used to have Ali Fraser, Foreman, Ken Norton, Ernie Shavers, Ron Lau, Floyd Patterson, Sonny Liston. And now what you're giving us Povetkin, Dillon, and Eddie Hearn's back garden. Don't patronize me. I don't care that it's in his back garden. I don't care. It's a decent fight. I'll watch it. But don't tell me that because it's in somebody's garden, it's gone from a level 4 fight to a level 10 fight. I care it's in his garden. It don't bother me. I don't. It's like because they control the narrative, but the product. If you go to McDonald's, you know what kind of food you're getting. If you go to KFC, you know what. So this is what I'm saying. You're giving us KFC, and you're trying to tell us that this is 5-star Michelin fight. It's not. It's not. I mean, like I say, back in the days, these guys used to fight each other. But these days, 50 years ago, got Ali Fraser, and look what you're giving us now. You're giving us Dillian White versus, come on,
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, mate. I see where you're coming from. Do you know what it is? It is helmet behaviour. It's helmet behaviour, isn't it? That's what this is. Helmet behaviour. In fact, that needs to go in my car because on the 29th, get your votes in for helmet of the month before the 29th, because we're going to do something a bit special with helmets at month this month, and it's going to be an out of town production job. So I'm going to need that because otherwise I'll end up driving so far and thinking, I'm sure there's something I forgot. Like when I left my kids in McDonald's over here at Parkgate. Can I just say thank you everybody for liking and subscribing, sharing the videos on your WhatsApp to all your pals, but also thank you for pressing the join button below and sharing the videos and joining the members only. $5.99 a month. YouTube take 30%, and every penny goes back into once a month to do something a bit special. So, but yeah, you were saying, go on. So, does Dylan White beat Povetkin in this rematch? Yes or no?
Yes, he probably does.
Does Dylan White deserve to be in his 6th pay-per-view?
Of course not. No.
If anybody else would have messed Eddie Hearn about with a Wembley fight, like Dylan White did for 4 belts, could you imagine Henry Cooper refusing Ali at Wembley? But if it had been anybody else messing Eddie about, do you think he'd keep giving them pay-per-views? Because this is his 3rd pay-per-view since he knocked back the Wembley fight. So is Dylan White closer to Eddie Hearn than they make out? Because Dylan always tries to make out that there's this corned beef between them, doesn't he? Or intense beef, or laughing luncheon meat, or whatever you want to call it, killed up cheese, whatever it is. What do you think?
No, there's no beef between Dylan White and Eddie Hearn, because let me explain something, because a lot of fighters they don't actually understand this, and a lot of fans, a lot of people think it's about. A lot of people, they go for sort of cheap views, so they'll say or do whatever they can just to get people to watch.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't get, a lot of people in boxing, people like Eddie Hearn, David Haye, Adam Smith, Dylan White, no matter what happens between them on camera, or Derek Chisora as well, these are objective, ruthless, cold-hearted businessmen. They don't care whether they like you or not. If something makes money, that's all they care about. They're objective. So someone like Eddie Hearn, well, he's an objective businessman. It's not about whether you like someone or not. If you go to the shop, say you go to Tesco's, you're not going to go up to the Tesco workers and I like you, I don't like you. You're just there to shop. You buy what you want to buy, you go home. So this one, a lot of people in boxing, I know people in boxing, they might hate each other, but they'll still do business. Look at what happened. You know what Don Charles told me years ago? If anybody remembers when they got into that fight at the press conference, David Haye, David Haye punched Don Charles. Do you know he broke Don Charles' jaw? Don Charles told me himself, I couldn't eat for 2 weeks. So
good. If he's getting it's his job to knock him out if they're battling, isn't it? John Charles tried to get him from behind, didn't he, when he was battling with Dylan? So we're battling with Chisora. So as far as I'm concerned, they tried to 2-on-1 David Haye. So Don Charles, if you got your jaw broke, good. I don't like people who 2-on-1 people. No,
that's actually what I told Charles at the time. Yeah. I said, you charged at David Haye and you grabbed him by the neck.
When he's having a straightener with Chisora, and he got what he deserved. I have no sympathy with Don Charles. Unlucky with broken jaw, but don't 2-on-1 people. That's what happens.
But that's what I said. I said, like, me and O'Hara Davies were friendly, but if I was to attack O'Hara Davies outside the ring, well, I mean, O'Hara's an emotional, but he's going to attack me in self-defense.
But if I come steaming over and grab you by the neck and O'Hara breaks my jaw, people will go, oh, Pokey, you got what you deserve. But do we have to give Don Charles a pass? Do we heck? He deserved it. No.
You don't go charging. I wouldn't do it. You couldn't pay me to charge at David Haye outside a ring. Hell no. For what? So I can end up in hospital.
Yeah.
You know. So Don Charles did that to himself. But the point I was going to make, but they had the fight because they understood, and this is what he told me. He understood the fight between Haye and Chisora. It gets us all paid. So he actually hated David Haye for a certain amount of time, but he just said, you know what? We all got mortgages to pay. Let's just get paid, go home. So that's what a lot of people in boxing. So your question about Dylan White, Lord, these people, they're just playing games, you know, so whatever pays the bills, they don't hate you. You know, it's just business, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Dylan White comes out, called Huey Fury a crackhead, right, on social media, said Huey's a crackhead. Or go up to Peter Fury's gym and call Huey Fury that to his face, Dylan White. So Dylan White, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You can dish it out, but you can't take it. When anybody puts it on Dylan White, what can he say? I mean, how many trainers has he had in Dylan White now?
Loads.
He's on He's on this shadow bloke now, isn't he?
Yeah.
They seek him there. They seek him here. The shadow. Oh, who's this guy? With Lennox Lewis. He was only a second. He was a seconds, wasn't he? He wasn't main trainer. He was managed steward, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Point I want to make. Hang on a minute. Point I want to make is this.
Sorry. Yeah.
Dylan White. He started off with whoever. He ended up with Jonathan Banks at the second one. Mark Tibbs. This Xavier guy who's reduced now to making tea and making beds. Who's this other? They brought Caldwell on. Penfold. Yeah. He's been kicked down up road, and now they've got this other dude, the shadow bloke, the shadow. So there's had 6 trainers. Look, end of the day, changing all these trainers tells me one thing: his mindset's weak. He will know what happened when he got put to kip. He got put to kip, didn't he?
He did.
Now, if he gets knocked out again and Parker beats Chisora, does that mean we've got to sit and watch a rubber match between Chisora and Del Boy? How are they going to sell that?
I'm going to leave. I'll leave the country. I'll go on holiday. Like, I don't want to see that.
If they put that on as a rubber match, I might have to bit voice of hardcore horse racing. At least I'll get paid more, won't I?
Of course you will.
Instead of doing this crap, putting up with all this crap on here, pay-per-views, people getting pay-per-views willy-nilly. How come Billy Joe Saunders Canelo's not pay-per-view on Sky? Why is Eddie Hearn not going into bat for his guy? I can't believe it.
Well, I don't really trust Eddie Hearn. He's obviously got ulterior.
You don't.
On a personal level, I don't mind him, but a lot of people in boxing, what fans need to understand, a lot of people in boxing, they're corrupt. They don't care about the sport. They don't love the sport. They just want to make as much money as they can, disappear, and they don't care what happens to the sport. I mean, you had someone that died recently. I'm so sorry. I don't know his name. The Sheffield boxer. Was it Lee Noble?
Yeah.
All right. So you got Eddie Hearn coming out with all this, oh, rest in peace. He was such a nice guy. And I remember when he did that thing for Patrick Day and he was crying, oh, I'm so upset that Patrick Day's dead. But if you're genuinely upset, but what are you doing to make life easier for people in boxing?
Nothing.
Are you going to pay them more money? Are you going to get them the fights they deserve? What about, who was the guy? Was it Lee Selby? Before one of these fights, you put the guy in the sauna. I saw it on your channel, Porky. You put the guy in the sauna before he had a fight. Do you know how dangerous that is?
Lee Purdy, Devon Alexander.
You know how dangerous that is? Because I've been in sauna. Like, if you go in a sauna and you go in... I went into a sauna once and I sparred the next day. I wasn't the same. Yeah. So imagine going into a fight. You know how dangerous that is?
Well, listen, our point I want to make is this, right? Because we're going off key here. Point I want to make is... Canelo, you don't have to apologise. Canelo, Saunders, White, Povetkin, all Eddie's energies are in these 2 shows. All 4 of them have served drug bans.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Nobody's mentioning it. Nobody's asking any questions, are they? Why not? Why not?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what people are corrupt. They get told, they just care about money. There's no morals. Yeah. They get told what they can and can't say. You can say this, you can't say that. I interviewed Brandon Rios years ago, and he made a couple of jokes about drugs. Then his team said to me, oh yeah, can you make sure you edit out the part about drugs? Mm-hmm. I said, well, he said it. They were a bit awkward about it. So I just said, you know what? I'll just delete the whole interview. They didn't tell me to delete the whole interview. I thought, you know what? Forget about it. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying about people in boxing. They get told to edit this out. Can't ask this. Can't ask that. So it's all a sham. IFL. They're Matchroom publicity people. They work for Matchroom. They're not independent.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Okay. Bivol, Craig Richards. That's a mouth-watering fight, isn't it? Sizzling.
Not really. I mean, it's a decent fight.
It's a decent fight. Come on.
I'm being nice. I'm being nice. I was trying to be okay. It's not bad. It's not that. It's not a good fight. All right, I'm being honest. I mean, look, I like Craig Richards, lovely guy. You know, bumped into him a couple of times over the year, but he's getting an opportunity. But is he going to win? It's quite unlikely. He's not really going to win. Obviously, he's doing what he's got to do. He's been offered the opportunity, but it's a rubbish pay-per-view. I'm not paying whatever they charge, 15, 20 pounds. You'll be lucky to get a penny out of me. I'm not paying for this. I mean, I think Katie Taylor, Tasha Jonas it's a really good fight for women's boxing.
Hell, Jonas smashes her to bits, punches her upside down and gets rid of her. I don't like her. She's had too many iffy decisions for my liking. Yeah,
you had the Pearsoon fights, and yeah, I mean, but that's the problem with boxing. A lot of these judges they pick a lot of the time. They go with the fighter that's the bigger name, the bigger financial draw. Because to me, there is no way Katie Taylor won the first Pearsoon fight. Go watch a lot. She was lucky not to get knocked out in that fight.
I thought she lost them both. I thought she lost both.
Yeah, but we all know it's Katie Taylor. We all know she's a big financial name, which it should have nothing to do with it.
Why is Matthew Macklin saying Katie Taylor's an icon? What? An icon's Princess Diana, not Katie Taylor. Get a grip of yourself, Matthew Macklin. He's on shaky legs, Adam.
You know, but he's talking nonsense. The guy's a balloon. He's full of hot air. She's not. Look, she's a decent fighter, but women's boxing ain't. She's not an icon. Don't talk rubbish. You know, and also you got the main fight, the Chisora Parker. That's probably going to be a boring fight. I mean, you got Chisora, 10 losses. You got Parker. I think Parker, he probably lost his last fight. He looked bad. And you're trying to tell us this is pay-per-view. I'm going to try my best to stay awake during Chisora Parker. I mean, half the people watching are going to be asleep. It's going to probably be a boring fight. And you're taking a mick. You're putting this on pay-per-view. Yeah. When you go to a restaurant, if you they'll give you a cup of water for free, won't they? You ask them for tap water, they'll give it to you for free. Imagine getting charged for tap water. I mean, come on, it's not. They're milking the sport for. The thing is, you're killing the sport.
All right then, okay, calm down.
Gonna go into a rant.
Hey, calm down. You're ranting there, right? Yeah. Floor, right. Right, moving on from Katie Taylor against Jonas. That's a great fight. We agree, don't we? Right, and we want Jonas to win because she got robbed against Terry Arthur royally. Right. Chris Eubank Jr. against Marcus Morrison. That's a mouth-watering fight as well. What do you think to
that? I'll keep it short this time. That's an absolute mismatch. Look, right. I respect I respect all fighters. And the easiest way to it's nothing personal, but Marcus Morrison, I think the guy's ranked at like 68 on BoxRec. You know, he's lost fights before.
What's Eubank ranked?
He's easily top 10 in his division.
He's been inactive though. He's been inactive, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, I respect all fighters, and don't get me wrong. I can't say Marcus Morrison could win. If he does win, I'd find it absolutely hilarious. I'd love to see him knock Eubank out. I just, you see, I've not got nothing against Eubank, but you see fighters picking these so-called easy fights. You know, what happened to Dylan? You know, they thought Povetkin's an old man and you knocked him out. Yeah. But you said, Chris Eubank said, Liam Williams is not good enough to fight me. He's like, you're not going to fight Liam Williams. You're not going to fight Liam Smith or Callum Smith but you're going to fight someone. But Marcus Morrison is good enough when he's ranked about 68. It's a mismatch, but good luck to Marcus Morrison. Good, I hope you win, mate.
Okay. What else is on that card?
That's about it.
That is for now, isn't it? For now, obviously.
They might stick on a few. Yeah.
All right then. Campbell Hatton against TBA, making his debut on the Dylan White undercard on the Rock of Gibraltar. Do you think Campbell Hatton's got a lot of hype behind him?
Yeah, but it's stupid because obviously it's nothing against Campbell on a personal level. He's just doing what he's supposed to be doing. I've got no issue with him. But why is it in boxing? Why is boxing the only sport where if you're famous or your dad was a boxer, you get opportunity. That's not fair. How is it that Campbell Hatton gets to be on this show against TBA? TBA to be announced. We know what that means. It's going to be 100-1 odds, but that's not fair because you don't get this in any other sport. You don't get, my next door neighbor's Ronaldinho, let me play for Barcelona. You got to be good enough. You got to work your way up the ranks. So I don't think it's fair. He shouldn't be on pay-per-view. That's not fair. He's done nothing in the amateurs, but he gets to be on this show. That's not fair.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. All right. I can explain it. Fabio Wardley against Eric the Power Molina. What do you think to that fight?
Well, you're talking about a fighter versus a school teacher, isn't he? I mean, Molina.
He's an old man now, isn't he?
He's not really. The odds are he's not really going to win, is he? He's an old man. I mean, as you get older, your body can't perform at the same level, and you're coming up against Wardley, a fresh guy who's got power. Well, it's just another. But this is just the way boxing's going downwards. You look at the Ali Fraser era, they had so many great fighters, but these days you got ex-school teachers and cab drivers and fighting, It's just going downwards.
Yeah. All right then. Bricktop has signed Charlie Frankham from Matchroom. He had 2 fights with Eddie Hearn in 2019, and then he's been parked up. He's just signed with Bricktop. Do you feel that Eddie Hearn is now putting kids in a position where they're with him, but they're parked up, and he's not doing anything with them? He's signing people just to keep them away from Frank. What do you think to that?
Yeah, I've noticed it. I think it's wrong because, but as I said, Eddie's got serious money. I think he said the other day, he said to Lawrence Okoli, if you become a world champion, I'll buy you I forget what it's, some sort of Rolex. So I looked it up. It costs like 15-20 grand.
Yeah.
So Eddie, for you, that's nothing, 15-20 grand. But these kids that when you're parking them up, but you're messing these people's lives up. They've got mortgages, they've got families, they've got bills. And so, but what was his name? Callum Johnson. These fighters do whatever's best for you. If you got to go to Frank, or if you got to go to Calais or Eddie or Al Heyman, you got to live your life because Eddie Hearn, they're not going to pay your. They're not going to pay your bills for you.
Yeah. All right. Do you feel that Al Heyman is still a force in the sport of boxing? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about Floyd Mayweather fighting Logan Paul?
It's stupid. It should be illegal. It's stupid.
Yeah, but it's entertainment, isn't it? There's no boxing boards or controls and sanctioning bodies and state commissions involved. Shouldn't they just be allowed to entertain and do what they want and have a move around and get millions? What do you think?
No, it's stupid. No, but it's taking a mick now. A fighter against against someone who's not a boxer. This is dangerous. And look, Floyd, I hope it doesn't happen. Floyd's probably just going to get in there and mess around. But if he hits this kid for real and the guy ends up in a coma, what's everyone going to say then? I mean, it's all well and good. In the gym, when you box in the gym, you can get amateur. I've seen it. You might get amateurs, they'll let you jump in with world-class professionals and have a little mess around. And if it's controlled, it's okay. But if Floyd does anything to this guy and puts him in a coma, I mean, for those of you who don't know who Patrick Day is, well, look at Patrick Day. He boxed on the Eddie Hearn show and he died. Throughout boxing history, how many fighters have died? Yeah, and you're putting a fighter. Mayweather. It's like a lion versus a zebra. I mean, come on, the guy can't fight. I don't care how big he is. You're not gonna beat Floyd Mayweather. Anyway, I don't want to go into rant mode.
You've been in 1.5 hours.
Try not to.
Who's biggest arse licker in UK boxing at the moment?
Probably Coogan.
Who?
Coogan, probably Coogan Cassius.
Coogan, yeah. Who do you think's biggest arse licker who's a pundit?
Johnny Nelson.
Johnny Nelson, yeah? Johnny.
Also say, yeah, or maybe Adam Smith, or yeah, one of these lot.
Oh, Mr. Sizzling himself. Rumpelstiltskin. Bean! Run have been, could have been, should have been, never been. Baked bean. Beans on toast. Beanie. Green beans. Rumpelstiltskin. We're on to you.
Yeah.
Okay, then. What do you think about Callum Smith and Beefy Smith? The word around the campfire is that Beefy is with Manny Robles and that Callum's going to follow him. What do you think to that, if it's true? Do you think that Joe Gallagher's been shafted?
Well, see, the problem is, there's always two sides to every story. A trainer is paid to do a job.
Yeah.
If you feel that your trainer is not performing at the level you want, you're entitled to get a new trainer. However, you've got to be careful, because the problem with fighters, obviously Callum Smith lost his last fight. The problem is a lot of fighters, they blame trainers when they lose. Sometimes you got to accept the truth and just don't blame the trainer. Take Callum Smith, but you're the one, you hardly threw a punch against Canelo. That's up to you. You know, so I don't know why he's left, if he has left. So it's a 50-50. On the one hand, you're entitled to get a new trainer. Yeah. On the other hand, if you lose a fight, well, Amir Khan's the perfect example. Every time he gets knocked out, he gets a new trainer. Yeah, but mate, it's not the trainer's fault you got a dodgy chin. Yeah. You can go from trainer to trainer to trainer. Look, you're not gonna, unless you go into the ring wearing some sort of bulletproof head guard, you're gonna get knocked out if you take on a puncher. So, but this is the problem. As you said, Dylan White, you've gone from trainer to trainer to trainer to trainer, but maybe you're the problem. Don't blame the trainer, you know. Well, you know, also Joe. Well, I mean, Joe's made money off Callum. I mean, it's not an ideal situation, but just it is what it is, isn't it? Just try and invest your money now. But it's frustrating, you know. You train a guy for years and then they just want to leave you. It's frustrating.
Yeah. All right then. What date is it today? 24th?
Yeah, today's the 24th.
24th. All right. Do you think Eddie Hearn's going to leave Sky in June? The word around the campfire is that dates are going to be going to Sauerlands. But do you feel that Eddie will still have input with that, because Sauerlands Sky man, and they're going to need to work with Eddie at some point. So do you think that even though his name might not be on the dates, he's still going to be involved, so to speak? Because he inserts himself into every scenario, doesn't he?
He'll still be involved. I think so. The first question, do I think he's going to leave in June? Probably, yeah. I think he's probably going to leave because yeah, he's just not. His interest doesn't seem to be in Sky. You know, he's taking all the big fighters over to DAZN, Canelo, and he signed Joshua to DAZN. So yeah, I see him leaving Sky, and the most logical choice, yeah, I think Sauerland. Sauerland's probably going to come, and it's all just business. I think Eddie and Sauerland, they get on, and he'll still be involved behind the scenes. Like a lot of these guys, it's just business to them. They don't, because they don't, whether they like you or not. Bob Arum and Frank are very emotional people. They don't get it. But people like Eddie Hearn, they get it. Whether you like somebody or not, if you can make money with that person, you do what's best for business. Yeah. You know. So yeah, he'll still have an input.
Eddie talks too much. Talks too much bullshit for me. One last question then before I go for my pad session. Eddie Hearn. Sorry. Eddie Hearn's a dick. We've had enough about him. Tony Bellew, does he come back this year? Yes or no? Is he coming back at heavyweight?
Not this year, but he'll probably come back next year.
So you're going to say Tony Bellew's coming back because he can still feel something in basement? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I mean, the guy's a clown. Like, do you know he opened up an OnlyFans account?
Seen it. Painful to watch.
So, I mean, you know, you're going on the SAS program now. I mean, you're a joke, honestly. He's opened up an OnlyFans account. So what happened to all the David Hay money? I mean, gambled it away or I don't know, taking it up the nose, had too much, you know, I don't know. So, you know, if you open up OnlyFans, obviously you must need the money. And yeah, he'll be back. He needs, it's just the money's hard to resist.
Can't help himself.
Because a lot of these fighters, I remember I met Harold Graham once, and he was telling me that, you know, he's working in Sainsbury's. I thought Harold Graham, I mean, this guy was one of the best British fighters to never win a world title. I mean, this guy was magic.
And Ryan Rhodes as well.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy, and then someone like Harold Graham, then he's working in Sainsbury's. See, a lot of these guys, they don't know what to do once they leave boxing, because just because you can punch the heavy bag, it doesn't mean, you know, you're not going to then be able to set up your own business. You haven't got the experience or the knowledge. So they just take whatever job they can. So this is what's happening with Tony Bellew. You don't know what to do, you know. Also, a quick one. Do you know Ebony Bridges is fighting next month in the UK?
Hey, with big tits. Yeah. Well, good luck to her.
Versus Shannon Courtney.
No, it's a mismatch. It's not a mismatch. It's what's wrong with boxing. Them two in a world title fight, it discredits the world title belt.
You got it's the people in boxing. Like, you know, a fighter fights. Yeah, if someone offers you money to fight, you're gonna take it. But you got to blame. But look, it's the way boxing's set up. You know, I mean, they're the ones that have Eddie Hearn and these lot. They're calling it a world title. But listen, I'm happy for Ebony. I hope she knocks Shannon Courtney out. You know, I really I believe she can win the fight.
All right then. Well, you've had your moment. So would you like to shout out to your Twitter and Facebook and social media handles?
Oh yeah, sure. So I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So all of them, just type in Emperor Micheal.
Emperor.
Emperor, like Julius Caesar Augustus, Emperor.
I thought you were called Appollo.
No, Apollo was like an old nickname that I had.
Okay.
But I'll say quickly, I've been looking at the comments on your videos. So listen, everyone that comments on the videos, I find it quite funny. It's just send as many comments. I'll reply to all of them. I find it, you know, it's funny. Yeah, you get a few silly comments, but I'm thick-skinned. It don't bother me. But I pretty, you know.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, go on. You were saying.
No, I'm just saying. Obviously, sometimes you get some silly comments, and it's just but I don't bother me. I find it funny. Like, you got adults like wasting your lives away with silly comments, but keep it coming. Keep it coming. I enjoy it, you know. And most of you got so many hardcores on your channel. Like, a lot of these guys, they know boxing, and it's good talking to those ones.
All of them. Listen, all of them will come on here, who I have on here, all love the sport of boxing. They're all welcome, and most of them are all members on join thing. You know what I mean? Are you a member, Micheal?
Not yet.
Not yet. You're saving up for it?
Yeah, you know, paying installments.
Don't worry about it. Well, listen, big shout out to Chris Ward. How are you doing? Simon Thompson. Big John O. Get in touch and we'll have you on. Just get in touch with me. You've got to text me on WhatsApp if you want to come on, because I'm like juggling about 10 plates at the moment, and 2 kids as well. Having 2 kids 2 nights a week. So, okay. So, thank you very much for coming on, Micheal. You've been a real tonic. You take care. Have a great Tuesday. Is it today? Monday, Tuesday? Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Have a great Wednesday. And I'll see you soon. Peace out. Cheers, mate.
Take care.
Bye-bye. You like that one, didn't you? Right. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me, because we're on this journey together, aren't we? So anybody got any ideas for the channel, fire them over to me. porkycorner@mail.com. All right. Shout out to Innovation Alloys and South Yorkshire Packaging. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep on trucking.